Hello and welcome to The Limelight, your go-to podcast for all things marketing and SEO. I'm Chandler. I'm a digital marketing specialist here at Digital Limelight Media, and I'm thrilled to be one of your hosts. Each week, we dive deep into the world of digital marketing, bringing you expert insights, industry news, and actionable strategies to help you elevate your online presence and stay ahead of the curve.
Whether you're a marketer, an entrepreneur, or just curious about the dynamics of digital marketing, tune in to the In the Limelight podcast as we unlock the secrets to achieving optimized impact in the digital realm.
So join Lauren and I as we explore the exciting and ever-evolving landscape of digital marketing right here, The Limelight.
Hello, and welcome back to the Limelight podcast. That was the longest millennial pause, I think.
It was, honestly.
I have ever as a Gen Zer taken. Yeah.
It's in case you guys haven't noticed yet, we're on video. We are live in the studio at DLM in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah, and we've got some cool new set designs.
We do.
So I'm super, super excited. I think that might be my lime today, is our gorgeous set design. Thank you to Kenna, shout out for the gorgeous designs. They're so cool.
They're honestly so sick though. Like they're actually so cool.
I love them. I'm like gonna steal one of the extra ones and like put it by my desk.
Honestly, we should put that on DLM social for like wallpapers.
I think so.
For like iPhone wallpapers.
You're genius.
That's what I'm saying.
You're
Like, isn't that
genius.
that'd be such
That's
a sick
so cool.
wallpaper?
Oh my gosh. Wallpaper drop.
Okay.
Anyway.
We're just full of good ideas.
I guess since I said my lime, my lemon today, I think is the fact that it is 89 degrees Fahrenheit and windy. Not fun. It is so hot. So hot. And I have curly hair, so my hair is whew.
Yeah. I definitely do not do good in heat. I have about like a 6 degrees window where I'm happy. Yeah. And I'm like usually never happy. So I would say, okay, since you started with the good, I will say my good is I got brand new pickleball paddles and a brand new pickleball set. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I like literally love pickleball so much. It's become my life.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And we have our friend that we play with. Now we played with him twice.
Michael.
Old gentleman. He's so sweet. He's awesome, and he's so good at playing. I feel like I get better playing with him.
Oh, 100%. And he like, it's like, just opens your eyes. You just get like cooked by like a 76-year-old man. I'm like, oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah, he's so awesome. So
I would have to say my lemon for the week is actually this morning I brought my cat Ajax in for an annual checkup, you know, just to kind of get him everything that he needs. And I'm moving soon. Yeah. So I got him like medication so that he can like kind of like be chill during the move and not like freak out. All that together was $350. So I was not planning on spending $350 today on my child, but I did.
It's crazy how much vet stuff costs. Like my cat's ancient. She's like 18 years old. She's on meds, and we have to get her blood drawn like every month so that she can continue to get her meds. And like every month it's like $100 for the blood draw and then like $50 for her medication. At this point she's ancient. Yeah, she's costed more in the past year and a half than I think she has in the other 17 years of her life. Yeah. It's so crazy what vets charge.
Yeah. Which honestly we should cancel vets.
Or maybe we should have vets as some clients. If you're a vet and you're looking for digital marketing, call DLM, DLMconversion.com. Check us out. We would 100%. Love to diversify our portfolio.
Correct. And I also am looking for free medication for my animal.
That is true.
So
that is true.
It's a win-win for both of us.
Yeah, maybe we can do a little tradesies.
Speaking of canceling vets, which I was totally joking. We probably should not cancel vets. They're amazing and very helpful. That has kind of something to do with like what we're talking about today in terms of like overall review management and just like your overall status and what people are saying about you online as a business, or if you're your own person, like as an entrepreneur.
So cancellations, the big C.
The literal big C.
I know we touched on them a little bit before in past, but yeah, being canceled online seems like kind of a crazy thing. Do you have, and I don't want to say it like this, but do you have a favorite celebrity or influencer cancellation?
That's so hard because there's literally so many.
Many.
There's literally so many of them. I would probably. That's so hard. I feel like the thing is like nowadays though, like if you get canceled, it doesn't actually matter. Like it's like
depends.
it's in the news for a little bit, and then people like go back to like, for example, like Tana Mojo's entire brand is being canceled.
Yeah, and she's so genius. She's created the canceled podcast.
Yeah.
So if you Google Tana Mojo canceled, you're not going to figure out what she's canceled for, which is a million things. But love her anyway. I don't know. Yeah, you're going to find her podcast.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it really can depend on like what you do if you get canceled or not. One cancellation that I wanted to highlight that I think actually kind of worked was DaBaby. He was really big, really huge rapper, like come 2019, 2020. He was touring, he was doing everything, and then he was homophobic on stage, and he doubled down.
That will do it.
And yeah, I
that
think
will
that
do
was
it.
his career. Like he was collabing with Megan Thee Stallion, and yeah, he flopped simply. Never to be heard from again. Well, he's trying. He's floundering. But yeah, he's never really recovered from that. But on the flip side, someone like Snoop Dogg, who was literally on trial for murder like 20 years ago, is now like a family-friendly household, like super PG.
he's literally on like Kleenex commercials.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, your reputation online and kind of everywhere, but definitely online, can make or break what people think about you. You know, someone like Snoop Dogg, who maybe hasn't always had the best reputation, was able to turn that around. And I think a lot of it was his digital persona and like what he's choosing to put out there.
I think it also is like really interesting because it ties directly to like, for example, like say, this is like almost like the opposite of cancellation, but like the whatever interaction it is, if it's a positive or a negative one. For example, like Taylor Swift and like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like the Chiefs like sales like skyrocketed just because of Taylor Swift. So it's like she has such like a power when it comes to bringing financial success to whatever she's involved in. Or it's also like, I don't know, like if a company, you know, paired with James Charles or something, and like there's a huge cancellation in the beauty community and they're mad at that brand. And I think it's just really interesting to see like the impact that, I guess cancellations are like a negative review in a way on that person. So like it's really interesting to see the literal impacts of these reviews or cancellations that can tie to a loss in profit.
Yeah, it is so crazy. I mean, right, like you were talking about with the beauty community, there's people like Michaela, you know, 2 years ago, she was...
Is that
she's
the eyelash
girl.
Yeah.
So, like, a few years ago, I worked at Sephora a few years ago, you know? I was there when Glow Recipe put out a collab with her, and they took her favorite products from that brand, and they made their own little, like, package of, like, Michaela's favorites. It sold out, like, immediately. I wanted to buy it, and I couldn't buy it because it was sold out. I liked Michaela because I thought that she was really authentic. I thought that she was a really good representation for just, like, a normal person online in the beauty community. But her online persona has changed so drastically in the last year and a half. Now, when brands are working with her, I think, you know, there's pros and cons, but she's a little bit of a controversial figure.
Yeah.
You know, people might not want to be associated with her. Or, like you said, when James Charles was canceled a few years ago, same thing with Jeffree Star. A lot of consumers were saying, hey, Morphe, take these people off your website. You shouldn't be working with them anymore. They're canceled. So it is really interesting how online persona can change people's buying habits, can change perceptions online, just a ton of different things.
I think like when it comes to especially brands in particular, it's so important to have any sort of PR or crisis management that is ready to take on that issue of, hey, you made XYZ statement or you stood with this person with your brand when they were a part of whatever it was that, got them all of this negative review or this negative connotation around them. So I think it's really important to also not only like be really keen on doing your research on who these people are that you're working with and like, like tying yourself to when you work with them, but also, having a really good team that's ready to take on any sort of quote unquote crisis that could come up.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is, a lot of these big brand cancellation, big celebrity cancellations, the ones that we hear about on social media, the ones that we hear about on the news, those are the extreme situations. I think most people's online persona kind of reputation, it could be one singular 1-star Google review, which is causing you to feel like you're canceled. So yeah, we're going to take today's episode to kind of talk about how to control your online perception, how to manage that, how to manage the review, some sources to use as tools like Google Business, Yelp, Facebook, and also kind of to have some damage control.
Stop shouting into the void and start making headlines. DLM's public relations services are here to turn your story into front page news. We're not just spin doctors, we're storytellers, taking your newsworthy operations to the greater public. Get the attention your brand deserves. Get the attention your brand deserves and boost your search game. Reach out to our PR maestros now.
When you start to talk about like these Google reviews and how people are like, not only like, that is quite literally whenever I go and look for someone, like that is the first thing I see is like, do they have almost 5 stars? Do they, have even just 4 stars? Like once you start to see even like the 3 stars and like the 2 stars, like I'm not going there. As awful as that sounds, like if I don't know of a place or I've had someone that said, hey, this is really cool or great, like go to this place or whatever, like I'm not going to go somewhere that has less than 4 stars.
Yeah, the only time I'm going to a 3-star restaurant is if it's Mexican or Asian food, because I know the 3 stars are where it's at. They're authentic.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? I retract my previous statement and I will have to stand with that.
Yeah.
And I agree.
But, I'm not going to a 3-star doctor. I will say that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 3-star doctor is much different than a 3-star burrito. Those are 2 very different things. But I think on top of like the importance of like, for example, like if you're a dentist office and you have 3 stars, like that's going to skew a lot of people's perception of you. And I think like you were saying, it's really important to be able to manage those negative reviews and even possibly, connect with that person and reach out and figure out what went wrong and how you can fix it. But I mean, also like a shameless plug, DLM review, that is one of like the main things that we do when it comes to, not only just like website management, but like account management. If there's any sort of like negative reviews, we can absolutely kind of start to tackle those as a team with you and your client. And there's also ways that we can send out, a custom landing page that's built out with your entire branding to get more Google reviews so that you can kind of help to get more positive than negative. Like it's just a really, really useful tool. And like, I hate to like just buy our service, but like, it's actually really good.
Yeah, no, I've seen just little things that DLM review can help out with. Like we've had a lot of clients that want to, do a review campaign. So they'll post on social media, hey, if you leave a review from this date to this date, you'll be entered to win our giveaway. So, you'll be able to see, from this date to this date on this platform, these people left reviews. We've got that kind of conglomeration right in there. Another really cool thing with the DLM review tool is we have a live feed of your reviews that updates almost instantly. I think there's like maybe like an hour delay from the reviews being posted to the review source to being posted on your website. And then with those reviews on your website, they add a little source or a kind of schema that basically lets Google know, hey, these people have so many reviews with this star rating. And that can show up on your Google search right there, like with your little website.
Yeah, I think that's something that also like is really, really helps you stand out, because almost never do other clients have like 4 or 5 stars underneath their name when like you're searching for them. So it's just an additional thing that like DLM review helps you do that will like help you stand out.
Yeah, it's really easy, and it also can serve, like you said, has that landing page. We can connect multiple review sources. Google is the one that I typically say is the most important, just because Google's reviews has a really big weight on where it places your Google business profile in that maps listing and that search listing. And also it can affect where it places your website in the Google search rankings. So, you know, if we're going to prioritize where to get reviews, let's prioritize Google as number one. Yelp is another really good one. Facebook can be a good one too. And then depending on your industry, you've got Health Grades, Real Self, things like that for medical. You've got Angie's List, Home Advisor, things like that for more trades, blue collar. If you can find a website for your industry, there's probably a review source for it. If it's not in DLM review, we can custom add it. And we can also manually add reviews. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things because we have so many clients that have patients that will send them like handwritten thank you cards. We want to be able to show those off. And so that's a great way to put it. We can manually add those to the website.
Yeah, I think that's just like another thing that like a lot of review management sources or management softwares like don't necessarily do. I think ours is like pretty robust when it comes to like review management. It's just really nice because it helps like not only, for example, like if there's, you know, like you were saying, Angie's List, any sort of review source that you would need, it's obviously on there. But I think it also like really helps as like if you are really trying to get reviews on social media or like on Facebook, I feel like some places you can't necessarily pull Facebook reviews.
Yeah.
So I think it also like you can also in that custom landing page that we've built out for you, you can add Facebook or, you know, whatever social review you would want.
Yeah, and one of my favorite parts about DLM review, and this is the thing that I always tell my clients is the favorite part too. So if you're one of my clients, you've probably heard this spiel many, many times. But one of the best parts about DLM review is we have kind of a thumbs up, thumbs down system on the landing page. If people have a good experience, they click that thumbs up button. It leads them directly to those review sources. They just click the logo. It brings them right there. But if they have maybe a not so great experience, they click that thumbs down button. Instead of taking them directly to those review sources, it takes them to a private form that goes right to the doctor or whoever we have set up as that contact person in the DLM review account. So it lets people kind of, you know, air their grievances, but not just to the void, not just to the masses.
Yeah.
You get to send, you know, if you had an issue, if there's some miscommunication, something like that, right to the practice so they have a chance to make it right. I think managing reviews right there, you know, managing your reputation is being able to manage the negative things. So that's just a little tool. Obviously, people can still go out of their way to leave those negative reviews if they want to, if they feel so inclined. But I do think a lot of the times, you know, that thumbs down review form lets people kind of get it out. It mitigates their anger a little bit.
Yeah, most people just want to be heard.
They just want to be heard. And a lot of times too, if the practice can make it right, if the business can make it right, you know, all's good.
Yeah, I think it's almost something similar to like getting like a negative comment on social media.
Yeah.
Like it's a way that like is kind of similar to like someone that's upset or that just wants to, you know, get their feelings out. And like you said, they just want to be heard. Like, I think it's very, very similar of managing reviews on social media. It's to me, I think once I go for example, like if I was looking for a restaurant and I saw that restaurant and then I saw, you know, their competitors on Facebook and I looked at both their profiles and one has, you know, 3,000 reviews and one has 30, like I'm probably going to go to the one that has 3,000 reviews. Like it definitely builds up a persona of you being established and also actually reputable enough to have 3,000 reviews.
Yeah, reviews are so important, not only for SEO, but just to build that authority, build that credibility, build that legitimacy. You want to make sure that people know you're a legitimate business. I mean, word of mouth is so important, and really treat that review like a word of mouth. It's so important, and the easiest way to get reviews is just to ask. I think a lot of people just don't ask. They might think it's awkward, but that's the easiest and cheapest way for people to support your business, is to just leave you a review. I always tell everyone that you have a contractor that you like, that you worked with, they did a great job, leave them a review. It's the best tip, and it's free.
It's
It
literally
really
free.
helps them promote their business. It gives your stamp of approval.
And it takes 5 seconds.
It takes 5 seconds.
Yeah,
it's really awesome.
I think like also something which I'm apparently like only look at reviews now that I'm thinking about it. I think it's really important because it like 100% shapes the customer image of what they view you or your brand or your company. Like
yeah, absolutely.
It's in my eyes. I mean, this is obviously not the only factor, but I would say it's one of the main pillars, is like if it's going to make or break my decision to go to you for whatever service or whatever the reason would be for me going to you. Like,
yeah,
I think if there's like, like I said before, like if there's a dentist office that has 3.8 star reviews, like that's going to negatively impact you.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is those negative reviews. A lot of times people are going to say, if they think something's bad, people are going to leave their negative reviews without having to be prompted for reviews. People want to tell other people, people are mad, they want to get it out.
Yeah.
Ask everyone for reviews, because you don't just want the negative reviews to be on there. You want positive reviews on there too. Even if it's just a whatever interaction, ask everyone. Obviously, if you think it's going to be a bad review, maybe don't ask that person, but get in the habit of asking everyone. Ask them multiple times. If you're at a practice and you have multiple people working there, have the provider ask, have whoever's checking people out at the end ask. If you have a follow-up call or a follow-up appointment, have them ask in there too. Google reviews can be updated. The number of reviews won't change, but Google can see the reviews are updated. So if you have someone that leaves a review right after a treatment, maybe ask them, hey, like, would you mind updating your review with your follow-ups? Or if you have a patient that's been with you for a really long time, they've never left a review, just ask them. Especially if they like you and if they, tell other people to go to you. Clearly, that means that they like you enough to refer you out. So I wouldn't, that would be a really good candidate for a review.
Yeah, I think it's... like you said, it's so easy, it's free, and that is going to be such... and Google like knows if you have more reviews, obviously.
Yeah. So
like if you are ranked very well, and also your reviews have a lot of them, and they're also like all really like high scoring reviews, you're absolutely 100% going to rank better than people that have 2-3 stars.
Yeah, I recently it was a little case study. I mean, take this with a grain of salt, because I only compared 2 of my own clients. But I had 2 clients that pretty similar when it comes to, one's an orthopedic surgeon and one's a plastic surgeon. But they're both surgeons. They had similar traffic, similar kind of locations. They're in different parts of the country, but the demographics that make up those locations, pretty similar. It's kind of maybe like an LA, New York situation. So the cities are comparable. One of my clients had 90 reviews. One of them was just shy of 300. Guess which one had like 3 times the amount of interaction on their Google business profile?
Shocker, the 300, yeah.
The reviews, the reviews really do matter. Even if your profile isn't perfectly optimized, but you have a good amount of reviews, you're going to get interaction.
I think that kind of like brings me to the point of like, even our first episode, like Google is king, like 100% your Google business is the most important thing that you can do and optimize, and also make sure all of the reviews are going to. Like that is where you're going to find the most success and the most conversions. That's where you're going to be able to get to have your business like shown to more people. It's just, I think it's so crazy to me that people are not taking advantage of the Google business profile and reviews.
It's easy. It's free to set up. It's totally worth the time, 100%. So now that we kind of let people know the importance of reviews, do you have any tips or best practices on really anything in the review? You know, how to get reviews, how to respond to reviews, anything like that you tell your clients?
So I will always work with them. Now it depends, obviously, per practice or per client, but usually we will 100% be having some sort of review campaign or review management campaign, because that is so important. I don't think people really conceptualize how much positive reviews can do for your business, and also like the credibility of your business and like the consumer image of your business. What we can do is, what we also like to do is, if maybe the clientele is not, you know, as super tech savvy, or maybe needs a little bit extra of a push to give a review, we will have our designers kind of create a review card with a QR code that when you scan it, it literally immediately brings up Google review, and all you have to do is type in and hit enter. Like,
yeah,
it's
I
so
love that.
easy.
It's so awesome. I have an electrician client. Love them. They're so sweet. But we had review QR codes printed out with the link to their Google reviews. And then because they have a lot of electricians that go out, we put a little name slot on there. So the electrician, once they complete their job, they'll leave any notes in their name and then give that with the QR code. That way people are able to leave reviews and name the person that they worked with. That's another thing too, is if you can get someone to leave a review, having them name drop who they worked with, especially doctors' names, and then name drop the services that they've had, it can help. Obviously, you know, we don't want to be too nitpicky. A review is a review. Anything is great. But if they're looking for, hey, like, what should we put in the review? Names and services.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good things to highlight.
Yeah, I think honestly, whatever it is, whatever you can do that finds success and will capitalize on collecting positive reviews for your company, that's absolutely should be the way that you go forward. Like, if you are not taking advantage of any possible way that you can get leads and bring them into your business and put them on your Google profile, put them on Yelp, put them on Facebook, I think you kind of need to take a step back and reconvene with your team and figure out a way that you can begin to start collecting those reviews.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, I do have a little disclaimer for our HIPAA compliant people in the medical industry. Respond to your reviews. This is, you know, in everyone. But if you are in the medical industry, make sure that you're responding to reviews in a HIPAA compliant manner. We don't like to give direct advice because, you know, that can look different for different people depending on, you know, what type of review is left and things like that. But, you know,
which state you're in.
Yeah, exactly. But something like, you know, we loved seeing you in the office. You just admitted this person is a patient. Now, it's not something that we would recommend saying. Maybe something, thank you for our feedback. Thank you for the kind review. Maybe if it's a not so kind review, you know, thank you for leaving this review. Please reach out to our office. Something like that. If you're not needing to worry about HIPAA compliancy, you know, go ahead. If you're hair salon, something like that. Hey, thanks for coming in today. We loved having you. Come back soon. But anything that acknowledges them as a patient or any medical information outing, just be careful with that if you are in the medical industry. We obviously don't want anyone to get sued, and that is a fine line because they are, yes, coming out and saying, oh, this person treated me on their own accord, but we still, you know, we want to be safe. So just a heads up there. HIPAA compliancy is still a thing, so don't forget, if you're in doubt, you know, you don't have to respond to it if it's something that you're concerned with. We recommend responding to your reviews for sure, but, you know, thank you for this review when in doubt is pretty safe.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think, like we said, obviously if you're not in a medical field, that's not necessarily an issue, but talk to your local lawyer today to figure out your HIPAA compliant response.
Yeah, talk with your attorney, things like that.
When it comes to reviews, I know I kind of said that Google is like king. Obviously, that's the most important profile to optimize. Do you have like any other things that you kind of tell clients like, hey, you really need to focus on this page, you really need to focus on this page, or you need to, do X, Y, and Z on this profile versus the other?
So I'll highlight Facebook a little bit just because I think, social media is something that I really like and I like to focus on. Facebook reviews are one that I get a lot of questions about. I think now we're in a space where I would like to say if you are a business that is wanting to get a lot more organic traffic, we're focusing on maybe people coming from the website. Let's focus on those Google reviews. But if we're running, social media ads, if you're wanting a really good social kind of persona, a really good social media, just platforms, feeds, things like that, to make your account perfect, if you feel like you need reviews, that's totally fine. I will say I do see the most spam reviews on Facebook out of anywhere. So I don't want to say that Facebook is the second most important review source. I think it can be for people that like it, but I would also say, if you get the crypto scam, another one I see a lot is the tarot readers. Don't click any of the links. Most often, those reviews are going to be left with a 5-star. If you want to leave it up so you have a 5-star review, I think most people will know it's spam. But otherwise, we've had pretty good success. Just report those reviews as spam. Facebook will remove them. Hopefully, they don't always, but if you report it, get a few other members of your team, send it to your marketing specialist to report, and we'll send it around here. Things like that can get removed. So, yeah, I like Facebook. They're another one. It connects with DLM Review. It's pretty easy, and people know how to use Facebook. So if you're wanting to highlight another source, most people already have a Facebook account, so it's not like Yelp where they might have to go in, create an account. So, yeah, that could be a really good opportunity. Really easy to share, on Facebook. So things like that. Yeah, I don't think it's the top for everyone. Google should be everyone's top. But I think Facebook is another really good spot.
I think personally, if I had to choose one, it would probably be Yelp. And the only reason I would say Yelp is because it's tied directly to Apple Maps.
Yeah.
Like you can't, which I don't know why they don't do this. I mean, I'm sure I know why, Android. But it doesn't, it's not your Google business that's attached. It's the Yelp profile that's attached.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I've also had
so important.
If there's incorrect information on one, it's gonna show up on the other.
Yeah.
So here's just a reminder: double check your citations, your Yelp, your Apple Maps, your Google Business. Make sure that everything's correct because they do kind of connect. If one's incorrect, you might see that incorrect information pop up on another one because they do crowdsource a little bit. But yeah, no, I really like Yelp. I think another one that a lot of people use, my mind just went blank. Just kidding.
Well, I was kind of thinking honestly, we kind of gabbed their ear off about reviews. They're probably like, oh my God, I can't wait for them to stop talking. Is there any other thing that you want to add in terms of review management or just overall tips and tricks for reviews? I know we kind of covered a lot today already.
Yeah, so I'll hit again. If you are getting hounded by reviews, maybe negative reviews, if it's a cancellation situation, whether it's big or small, don't feel like you have to go through that alone. Work with a marketer, work with a PR firm, work with things like that. Snoop Dogg got through his cancellations with a PR firm. He would not have been able to do that on his own. Maybe he would have, but maybe not. I mean, I follow him on Instagram. Probably not. He wouldn't be where he is today without help, so don't feel weak. Also, don't snap back. Let it simmer.
Cool and collected.
Yeah, I think the worst thing that you can do is snap back at a negative review. It just looks so unprofessional. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't stoop down. If you feel like a review is false, report it. Report it. Google will take down false reviews, especially if it's a situation like mass reviews. Like, if something happens, business gets canceled on TikTok. Now you have all these people leaving 1-star reviews that have never been to your place before.
Yeah.
Report those. Don't snap back.
I think if I had to put anything, I think the only thing that I would actually like really, really say is like, it is such a make or break decision if you are not going to do a review management campaign.
Yeah.
Like, you absolutely have to get reviews, and they have to be 5 stars. Like, that is so important. And I don't think people like, it's like almost like an afterthought. They're like, yeah, like, if you want to, like, feel free to like give us a Google review or whatever. Like,
People don't want to ask.
Yeah. I'm like, are you joking? I will ask all reviewers right now to give me a 5-star review personally.
Yeah, I always tell my doctors, I'm like, I know it's awkward, I know it might be embarrassing, but like, really truthfully, like, just ask. It's free. It takes like 2 minutes. The worst they're gonna say is no. A review isn't like leaving a tip. Think of it as, you want to help someone out with their business. Like, what's the easiest thing to do? Leave a review.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's kind of it on review management. I don't really think of anything else. We kind of covered a lot of it.
Yeah, I think we got a lot in. I mean, it's really a pretty simple science when it comes down to it. Ask for reviews, respond to your reviews nicely, and then
Nicely.
follow HIPAA if you need to. It's pretty simple. If you have questions or things like that, listen to our other episodes. Check us out. If you're interested in DLM review or a demo like that, dlmconversion.com is where you can find us. Review management is something that we take very, very highly of importance here at DLM. So we're here to help you manage.
100%. I think anything else is common sense, but then sometimes I worry that people do not have common sense. Just don't say anything stupid and don't get canceled. It's that easy. I promise.
It's really not that hard to not get canceled. Just
Yeah.
be good. Just be good online.
Right. Just be good. Well,
don't learn from DaBaby.
yeah, unfortunately, but I think that's it, Lauren.
Yeah.
Another episode in the books.
Woo! Stay tuned for the
We
next
killed it.
one. Bye now.